Good morning class, myself Vaishali Raval, working as a faculty with Innovative School. I am taking English in 11th and 12th Science and Commerce, and we have already started the admissions for the 11th and 12th standard for the Science and Commerce. So here we are going to start with the new topic of grammar, that is direct and indirect speech, which is also known as reported speech. Now what is direct speech, what is indirect speech, that we are going to learn first. Direct speech means what? The conversation between the first person and second person is called direct speech. Suppose example that Tina said to Shyam, I am going to school. So here Tina is directly talking to Shyam and she is saying that she is going to school. Now what is indirect speech? Indirect speech means the conversation which has already been done between the first and the second person is conveyed by third person to some other person. That is called indirect speech. Right? So the example we are going to take the same what we have taken in direct speech, that is Tina said to Shyam, I am going to school. So here the third person is talking, so he will be talking in the third person's language. So he will be saying Tina said to Shyam that she was going to school. Understood? Okay. So now as you are aware of the definition of direct and indirect speech, now we are going to move towards the rules. There are few rules for changing a direct speech into indirect speech, right? So the first rule of changing from direct speech to indirect speech is that whatever tenses are there, right, they are changed to the other tense, right? If the sentence in the direct speech is in the present tense, in the indirect speech it will turn to past tense. As and when now the first rule for this is about the tenses only, right? So in direct speech, if the sentence which is given in the quoted speech means which is given in the inverted commas, is in the present tense, simple present tense, then while you are converting the same into the indirect speech, it will be simple past tense. The same way, if the direct speech sentence in the direct speech is in the present continuous tense, while converting into the indirect speech, it will change to a past continuous tense. The same way, if it is in the present perfect tense, it will change to past perfect, and if it is present perfect continuous tense, it will change to past perfect continuous tense. But there is one more thing what you have to keep it in mind when you are changing into direct speech, from direct speech to indirect speech, that is when the sentence is already in the past tense, while you are converting it into the indirect speech, the sentence will turn to past perfect tense. Now the other thing what you have to keep it in mind is that there are few names given to the sentences. Each part of the sentence is given a name. Suppose if I write a sentence over here in the direct speech that he said Sita was dancing. So said, which is written outside the quoted speech, that is called a reporting verb. That is called reporting word. Now if this reporting word is in the past tense, said is the past tense of say. So if this particular reporting word is in the past tense, then only you have to change the tense of the sentence given in the quoted speech. Now if the sentence is in the present tense, then the tense in the quoted speech will remain unchanged, right? Now there is an exception to this rule 1. We have learnt in rule 1 that the tenses changes from present tense to past tense, right? But there is one exception in rule 1, and that exception is that the sentence given in the quoted speech, if they are habitual activity or universal fact or habitual activity, they remain unchanged. The tense will never get changed of these sentences which have the habitual activity or universal fact. Suppose if I give you the example, the teacher said that the sun rises in the east. Now this is a universal fact that sun always rises in the east. So the tense will remain unchanged in this particular sentence. The next example of what I give you is of habitual activity. The boy said, my dad goes to office daily. So now this is the going to office is a daily routine, a habit of the boy's father. So over here also the tense will never change, only the first person will change to third person. Now the second rule of direct and indirect speech is that changes of pronouns and and possessive adjectives from direct speech to indirect speech. Now these pronouns and possessive adjectives which are being used as first person and second person in the direct speech, when you convert into indirect speech they turn to third person. So here you are going to go with a table in which the direct speech will be there and the second table will be of the indirect speech. Now in the direct speech column, the first and the second person will turn to third person, and that will depend upon the pronouns and possessive adjectives what are there in the direct speech, that will be changed into the indirect speech. Now suppose if I take an example that if it is I is the first person which is used in the direct speech, it will change to he or she depending upon the gender of the noun in the indirect speech. Right? Mine will change to his or hers, you will be changed to yours, her or him. Me will be changed to him or her. Your will be changed to yours or your. You will be changed to his or her. And our or ours will be changed to their or theirs. Suppose now if I give an example that Ram said, I am ill. This is in the direct speech. Now you change into the indirect speech, it will be Ram said that he was ill. Thank you.